Hi, it's Michelle from Married at First Sight. I wanted to make this video to kind of let you know a little bit about how it feels to be on Married at First Sight and a true reflection of really what has happened. So you might know, or you might not have listened, I was going to go on Married at First Sight a few years ago, and I pulled out at the last minute because I started dating someone from school, and I thought, well, yeah, that's great. I've met someone. I don't need to go on the show. And last year I went on, and hoping that there would be like my Prince Charming, my one true love at the end of the aisle, and didn't really realize that I was getting myself into like a really, really bad situation mentally. So we get married, which is a stressful day. It is such a stressful day. And it basically is you see someone, you've met them, and then we have to repeat the whole process again. And the stress and anxiety your stress and anxiety go through the roof. It is incredible because one, you've just met this person and you've committed yourself to this experiment, and then two, you actually then have to repeat the whole process again and go through the wedding vows once more. Meanwhile, your family has been sitting there for hours. My family had to sit there for quite a few hours, and my poor mum was in the sun. She's 72 years old, and it was a really, really hot day. A few of my family got sunburned, and a lot of them were dehydrated. So, yeah, it was not a pleasant experience for them, and I wish I hadn't included them in the whole process, in the program, in everything. But that's hindsight, and something that I probably should have thought about a little bit more. But as you could see, my family was very excited for me. We were very hopeful that I was going to meet my one true love, and they wanted to be there when I did. Now, we've all seen it unfold on TV and what's happened, but it didn't exactly happen that way. And there's a lot of things that are manipulated or edited that just don't come across as correct. And that's really sad, because you have some good times and lots of laughs, and they don't show a lot of that. But they like to show the drama, and so then it makes you the character that they want you to portray. Now, whether my character was a really good reflection of myself, yes, I think that my personality came across very similar to how I would be in real life. Does that mean that everything happened that they said happened? No. I would have said those words. It doesn't mean that I said those words on that day, at that time, and in that context. So it makes everyone look either bad, desperate, or like a terrible person. And there really wasn't a lot of terrible people on the show. A lot of us were genuinely there to find love. So I'll go into more detail with these videos about some situations that are quite disturbing and that I didn't like how they were portrayed. But right now, I just want to say, I know that you've all heard that I am anti-MAFs. And one of the biggest reasons is that I naturally have a little bit of anxiety. I have anxiety with crowds. I have anxiety with a few different situations. But Married at First Sight brought me to a new level of anxiety. It brought me to a place where I have never been before in my life, and I don't know how long it will take for me to recover from that place. So the filming process was intense, and yes, we had lots of good times, and we made some really good friends out of it. But the amount of stress that you go through is incredible, and it would break lots of people. I am such a strong and resilient person. I've been through so much hardship in my life, and I was truly on breaking point. I was out there on the balcony, and we had a double fence on our balcony, which was good in a sense, because yeah, I wanted to leave. I was begging to leave, and I was told that I couldn't leave until my story unfolded and my ass was owned. So once I signed that contract, yeah, I belonged to Endemol, I belonged to Channel 9, and the contract that I signed with them, regardless of my mental health, that made no difference. So it came to a stage in the experiment where I was all alone. I was I had no one that actually understood what I was going through. I had no one that really cared what I was going through, and my family and friends back home couldn't understand either. It was a stage when I also felt like I wasn't gelling with the rest of the participants on the TV show, because we had differences of opinion in regards to different situations, and I felt so alone. Came to one day where I had no one, literally no one, and I begged to leave, and they said no, and I had been through the drugging, so I'd gone out, had my drink spiked. No one cared. No one wanted to follow that up, and then I was still feeling more and more alone. And I was there, and I actually I jumped the first fence on our balcony. So, which is terrible. It was terrible. And had the next fence not been so difficult, yeah, I might have jumped that too. But Steve came out, to his credit, and he talked to me and asked me to come inside and just be calm. He asked me, what the hell are you doing? I don't think he really understood what state I was in, but he was there and he did talk to me, and I got to go home. I went to my doctor to get some medication to help me, and but I had to come straight back. So that was the agreement. I was allowed to come home, see my family, get well a little bit for the weekend, and then come back to Sydney to film. So yeah, it was, I don't know, I felt like that no one truly cared. No one. And the fact that they made sure that I returned, it's really a little bit, I don't know what sort of person does that. That they needed to ensure that I was coming back. So I'm back on this show in Sydney, a city that's really busy, that I don't even know, that I'm not feeling welcome, that I just feel overwhelmed, and I am basically stuck now until these people say that I can leave. I think that there was a few circumstances that really helped me in this situation, and one was, yes, there was two big fences. I was paired with someone that, even though we didn't find romantic love, he still cared about me. But there was a lot of couples that had no feelings towards each other at all, apart from hate and spite, and they would not have cared about the other person. And that's the situation that they put you in. And I'm sure that's what they wanted of Steve and I as well. They wanted us to hate each other. They wanted us to not get on. And we didn't get on a lot of the time, but we did. The thing is, we still also cared for each other. And we got through it, as difficult as we did, and not ideally, but we got through the whole process and made it out the other side. But it was to our detriment. I will talk about my detriment because I can only really say about myself, but I know that so many others are suffering from this. And it's the post-traumatic stress from the program. One, the experiment brings up so many past experiences that you've dealt with or you think you've dealt with, but like they come back, they surface, and you relive those feelings, but then there's no one there to actually help you deal with that. And they do have the psych there, but everything you say gets fed back. So what do you do? Like, you really don't have anyone in that time of crisis when you're really dealing with these traumatic situations that are coming up. And so many people sat on the couch with the experts and opened up their entire self and all these issues that had happened to them, including myself. And basically, they don't want to hear that. They just want to hear what's going on between you and your partner and the drama that's been caused, or will they create some more drama for you that week? And that is just not a healthy thing to do. And then they're meant to be counselors, they're meant to be experts, they're meant to be doctors, and they're actually not caring about our welfare, which is very, very surprising. There was one day when I came out and I was so traumatized with the things that I'd come out and said, and was really open on the couch, and it was like no one actually really cared. No one was interested. To her credit, Mel came up to me afterwards in a break and said, look, you really need to speak to someone and get some help for that. And I appreciated that so much, because it was like someone actually cared, you know. But no one actually wanted to deal with your real problems. No one. I wanted to let you know that I am not okay every day, and that's okay. I will try every day to get better. I will try whatever I can to be a better person, to appreciate the experience and have it as a learning experience. But the trauma still stays. So it has been roughly 8 weeks since the show's finished airing, and I have been seeing a counsellor weekly. I see a counsellor at work, and I see one that MAFs have also organised for me, and I have a mentor that helps me on a weekly basis too. You know what? It's not enough. It's not enough. The other day, so 2 days ago, I'm in bed. I've gone to bed. I've just had the most amazing walk. I feel incredible, and I open up my Instagram and I get all these hate. so much hate. And I'm just like, why? Do you not know that I am a person? You are not writing to someone who's not there when you write those mean things. I know that you are hating yourself at that time. And you hate yourself so much that you want me to hate myself as well. So that you write to me and you tell me that I am like not a nice person, that I am a cunt, that I am not as good as the other girls on the show, or I am not as pretty as some other people, that I am fat, that I am ugly. Okay, I can let a lot of that slide. But you know what? When you read 2 or 3 of those, when you're having a kind of a bad day, it brings you back to a point where you don't feel good about your life. You don't feel happy. And I don't know if you actually realize when you write those words how much they hurt the person that receives them. We are not a robot. We are not someone that doesn't count. We are someone's child. We are someone's mum. We are someone's sister, brother, whoever. We are someone that you know, your best friend. And you're telling us to go die or kill ourselves, or that we're fat when we already feel fat, or that we're ugly? Why? Do you know that we are a real person? You're just continuing the hate that we've already felt from the producers from Channel 9. There is no follow-up now. So this week was my 10th session with the psychologist. And initially I struggled to get 6 paid sessions with the psychologist from MAFs because of the post-traumatic stress that I have suffered. But my psychologist has recommended that I get another 6. And Endemol has decided to write to me to let me know that now that I have finished their agreed quota, they will stop funding any more further therapy. Okay, but I'm not cured. I'm actually not cured. I haven't got over the whole experience. I haven't got over that everything about my life has been exposed, that everyone knows where I work, that everyone knows where I live, that everyone knows everything about me. And now I'm meant to be over it in 10 sessions. Thanks, Endemol. I am not over it. I am not over it. I am more traumatized than I was like after the show. So after we finished filming, I felt okay. But after rewatching it and getting all the feedback from everyone, I'm even worse. And they think that that is okay, that that's okay to treat people like this. And then you see people like the executive producer who's just sold her house for millions of dollars. And she's boasting about interviewing more people. If you're a mum, if you're a daughter, if you're a sister, if you're a friend, a father, or whatever you are, do not let your close ones apply for this. If they are slightly vulnerable in any aspect, they will be 10 times worse after this process. They will be 100 times worse. And my fear is that someone will not get through it. And just because we are here now doesn't mean that all of us are through it as well. We are not. We're still dealing with it. Now, I've tried to complain to Australia's media watchdog. Well, good on you, Australia Media Broadcasting, because I have to complain to Channel 9, and they have to think that this is a legitimate complaint, that MAFs and the gladiator format that it is that it is detrimental to people's health. So they have to agree with that before they will proceed with this this claim that this is wrong, the way that they've treated people. and to stop this show, to stop conducting this experiment that is so toxic and, yeah, life-changing in a negative sense to so many people. And do you think that Channel 9's going to actually agree? They're not going to agree. They make money from this. Endemol make money from this. They've sold the series to America, probably for a lot of money. And for what? So that they can line their pockets. Is Channel 9 a family-friendly channel? Is it a commercial television channel that is friendly to your family? I would say no, because they're allowing this blood sport to be produced again. They're allowing it to be aired, and for people to want to go on this show. I think it's a shame that there are people with such little regard for other humans, that there are people that are so intensely, their focus on money and greed and how much that they can get is their motivation, and at the expense of another human. And like, does something really bad need to happen for people to wake up and say, wow, that show was detrimental to people's health? Not just us that are on it, our family that have experienced torture as well, watching their family members and friends go through all this hurt and pain. They themselves being bullied and picked on. They themselves being portrayed as really terrible people. I think that Endemol, you really have taken this too far. Channel 9, wake up. Like, you are a community television station. You have an obligation to tell the truth. You have an obligation to like, I don't know. Okay, it's freedom of speech. But this is not kind. This is not kind at all. Basically, this message, and there will be quite a few more, is to say that I'd like Endemol, the executive producers, to have a good hard think of themselves. They are parents. They are mothers and fathers. They are people with family and friends, with friends that have mental health issues, that are fragile. And would you let your family members do this? Think of your children actually knowing that this is the job you do, that you have pleasure in torturing other people during this experiment, other humans, for the benefit of entertainment. We are in a blood sport arena. There for show, for everyone, for your entertainment. So are you entertained now, Australia? Are you entertained? Yes, we are hurt. We are not well. But Endemol is not responsible. They will not help pay or fund for this therapy that we need. No more, because that's the end of their contract. They don't need to do that. And how is that human? How is that? I'm just lost for words with that. And yeah, there's so many people that have come out and said, yeah, no, we're not affected. We're not affected. You know what? You were affected. And if you don't, everyone on my season, every single one of you, maybe not one, every single other one, you were affected. You talked to me. You've sent me messages. You know how you felt during this process, just filming. You know how you felt when you watched it, but you don't remember. It's like that bad relationship where you don't, a year later or a few months later, you don't remember the bad stuff. You only remember the good stuff. And maybe you're getting a free dress or free makeup or something like that. But remember what you suffered. Do you want other people to suffer that? Be honest. Be honest with when you tell people it's okay. No, it's not okay. It's not okay. It is not okay what they make you endure. It is not okay that I still feel like this. It is not okay that my family feels like this. It is not okay that I have to worry about other cast members from this season. It is not okay. Australia, wake up. Wake up. Channel 9, wake up to yourself. Endemol, I think you're far too gone. Your moral compass, it doesn't exist. And you and your executive producers, you're somewhere on a different scale. Put yourself under the camera. Do something, Tara, would you put your son through this? Yeah. You know what? We're someone's son and someone's daughter. But would you actually put your own family through this? But doesn't matter, because he needs to see eventually the true person that you are. The mean-spirited, the conniving, the manipulative person that you are, to make $1 million or millions of dollars in a TV show. You did this to these people for so many years so that you can make money, so that you have fame, so that you are, I don't know, you've made yourself feel better. I feel sorry for you. I really do. I feel sorry for you all that think that this is okay. It's not okay. It's not okay.